Fine. C4.
Hello and welcome to round 11 of the GPVWC Formula Challenge here from Hungaroring. My name's Mike Bell and joining me today is Menno Klont.
Hello, good evening, Mike. Yeah, well, we're back after the summer break at the Hungaroring. We were here last week for the Academy race, and yeah, we're back for the Formula Challenge race. I'm very happy to be here. I mean, yeah, I was a bit lonely, yeah, during the month off, and yeah, now we're luckily back. So it's very good to be back and to see the driving, of course, for today. Two really good races, and yeah, we're currently in the qualifying session, and hopefully we can get some footage from that right now. We have, I believe, 5 minutes to go in the session, and currently leading is Matthew Williams with a 125.5. Yeah.
He just jumps up to the provisional pole. Luke Browning in second, just 22 thousandths behind at the moment. It's very tight at the top.
It's very tight, and what I see is some new names actually in the top 10. I see Cliff van der Veen now in P4. He drove very good in the Academy race last week, and yeah, earned a seat into into an FC team, TFF Racing, and yeah, it looks quite good. Good signing if he now is in P4. We also have some other names. David Krupa for the Academy team, Craig Patterson for the Academy team, Marcin Rebachuk for the TR Motorsport team. All new faces, yeah, today, and yeah, we also have some yeah, more well-known faces from the Formula Challenge, and yeah, we have quite a good grid of 30 guys. So yeah, we're only missing two drivers now. So yeah, in the holiday season, it's actually pretty good to see so many drivers, and yeah, they all will fight for a top 15 position in the races, and yeah, that will earn them points. So interesting. Mike, do we have got anybody who's currently going faster than the pole position time, or than the current time?
I'm not sure. Let me just have a double check. I think one person though who definitely does need to be improving is David Yunt, currently setting the slowest time of anybody, down in 29th for the Arrow racing car. teammates to Chris Butcher. Those guys are looking to be challenging for the team's championship, and to do that, Junt's going to really need to pick his pace up.
Yeah, but this first sector looked quite okay. So let's see what he can do and what he can jump into. For sure, he should be able to get it in a top 10 position, of course, with his experience and his skill. But yeah, I'm now currently looking at him. Yeah, he had some little bit of traffic of Chris Shepard, who went off before him, but this looks pretty good. Let's see where he will go to. Yeah, I think around P12, I think, depending on his last sector.
I think most people are on their outlaps right now.
Yeah, for one final. And only P19. So then that last sector wasn't good, but yeah, he's got one more lap. Oh yeah, and he already throws it. Oh, interesting. Let's David have to tire for one more lap. We will see that later. Let's look at some other guys now.
Luke Brown has just put in a decent sector 1, right up there, on par with his, or a little bit slower than his personal best, but just on par with the current pole time.
Yeah.
Just a little bit up as he goes through the twisty middle sector. Going to be very heavy on tires this circuit.
Yeah, that's what we already saw in the academy race, and yeah. Oh, Browning a
sector
little
2.
Faster, yeah.
All about the exit of this final couple of corners.
Yeah, it's not the first sector where you come in a lot. Oh,
that's big into the wall.
Yeah,
that's not going to be an improvement.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be as he gets hit.
He gets hit by Pavel, but I don't think it's his mistake. I think he couldn't get away on time. So let's see what will happen now. Some will go into the pits, and the others will start the last lap. What is Chris Shepard doing? Oh, what is Chris Shepard doing?
From Adrian Canfield.
Yeah.
They come out the final corner. Shepard doesn't improve. He lost time in sector 3.
Let's see. Are they working together to get a slipstream or something, or what is this?
Wouldn't hurt, but they both get sideways through turn 1. Oh, in 4th place, Cliff Vanderveen out the final turn. He's 1600ths up, and he improves. Not enough to gain a place, but improves. Oh, and he instantly gets pipped by Chris Butcher, who's right behind him on the road.
Oh, and Krupa crashes. David Krupa crashes. Yes, but of course he tried, so no improvement from Krupa, but still in the top 10. That's what happened here. Patterson is not improving, but I believe
Rybashuk is
improving. Yeah. Is somebody else improving, Michael?
Yeah, Rybashuk, and also Harry Graham in 8th and 10th, respectively. Rybashuk currently a quarter of a second up as he comes into the final sector. Should be enough to jump him
to P6, I guess.
P6, yeah. If he has a good final sector, maybe he can get even in the top 5.
Let's see what he can do in that pink-blue TR Bluetooth car. What can he do? Oh, P6. Yes, it is P6. Very good. Let's see. Can somebody still improve? James Early done. Thomas
improve.
Done.
They're both up to 10th and 11th.
Harry Graham, what are you going to do? You're going to improve? No.
Gear on the run to the line there.
Yeah, he's up, and I guess he can jump, I think, well, to P9 or something. Would be something from P13.
Goose.
What can he do? Oh, but he doesn't.
I think that was too big of a slide. As Brambilla improves. He's jumped up into 17th. Across the line's going to be Miguel de los Rios, and he's very wayward through that final corner. I don't think that's going to be an improvement from de los Rios. And it isn't, so Matthew Williams is going to take the pole ahead of Luke Browning by 22 thousandths of a second, followed by an all Chris, row 2, Chris Shepard ahead of Chris Butcher, and then Academy graduate Cliff Vanderveen, who I was very impressed with watching the Academy race.
Yeah.
He could be one to watch with his tire wear there for TTF in 5th.
Yeah, well, we discussed it just before. Who will be the best guy that will make his debut? But the numbers 5, 6, 7, and 8 will all make the debut. So actually, it's very interesting. And yeah, if you ask me, they all look pretty, yeah, pretty decent. So yeah, Cliff won the qualifying from the from the rookies. But yeah, it shows that yeah, the academy helped yeah, those guys getting a seat, and yeah, they're pretty good. Of course, we shouldn't forget they already drove here last week, so they got more track knowledge and the knowledge about yeah, the temperature and stuff. So yeah, but
Just,
still, it's very good. Let's see, do we've got some people that are yeah did not have a good qualifying?
David
Uh,
Yunt only 18th.
yeah,
That's not good for him. And Miguel de los Rios is quite a lot further down than usual for shift gear.
yeah, yeah,
Ruben
and
van den Hudding, he was looking quick through practice. He's down there in 25th, so
yeah,
going to
couldn't
be a
get
lot
the
of
luck.
people looking to move forward.
But even Leonov, I expected more from Leonov because he's a race winner. But yeah, it's still close. You shouldn't forget. Well, the top 14 is within a second, and yeah, a second is nothing, of course, in sim racing. Yeah, well, it's a lot in sim racing, but in real life, I mean, it's nothing. Sandeep only 15th. Well, yeah, shouldn't be happy with that. Yeah,
Well,
David Hunt only
he's
18th. Yeah,
someone who always looks to try and move forward through the races. He's been having a few technical issues, has he today? But of course, this grid's only provisional. There are the penalties to be factored in for this previous round. Two big names with penalties: Chris Shepherd with a 5-place one, and Adrian Campfield with, I believe, a back of the grid or a 40-place penalty. So that's going to put at least Cliff onto row 2. See how the rest of the grid shakes out when the penalties get applied.
yeah. And I'm just talked with Ruben van der Hudding. He was not happy. He had a lot of traffic. Yeah, in his
Circuit
qualifying
this.
lap. So yeah, let's see.
That's the problem when it's so twisty through especially the middle sector. The racing line you want to be on is so narrow that if there's traffic, that's gonna bork you wherever you catch it, pretty much, except for like on the front straight or on the run up to turn 4.
Yeah, that's very true. And yeah, what should I say? Like, yeah, if you get it in sector two, you cannot go, yeah, off the line in sector two to just to pass somebody. You will have a lot of understeer or other problems. So yeah, but that's of course difficult. But yeah, that's also racing. You need to find a decent gap and yeah, have a bit of luck as well. So yeah, we're a few minutes away from the first race start, and yeah, I wonder what will happen. Of course, I think the well, the usual top three, Butcher and Shepard and Williams, are yeah are still yeah very good in the top five. And well, let's see what Luke Browning can do.
For
We
the possibly the first race this season, he's actually going to be starting where he qualified.
yeah
So that to me screams that he's dangerous when it comes to the potential to take that race win. If he can just get through the first laps unscathed, he could be right on it.
and it was very good for the team he's driving. Of course, he went there after a few academy races. At FC at Academy team, yeah, to that team, and yeah, now he shows that after a little bit of trouble, a little bit of own mistakes, that he is quite fast, and yeah, of course, he's pretty good in real racing. So let's see what he can do. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
And obviously with Luke Browning going to Mayor Downard, that does bring the partnership with Downforce Racing into play. So if you have Harry Graham or Tom Davison also getting up in the mix, they're almost certainly going to work together to try and get good results from each of them.
yeah, that's true. And let's see. I believe one of the downforce guys wasn't that good. It was, I believe, Tom Davison, sorry, not that well in qualifying, but yeah, I think in the race it could still be pretty well. So we need to wait for it. So yeah. But yeah, what will be very interesting, I think, would be race 2 because yeah, this track is not easy to overtake. So maybe race 2 with the reversed grid, we might see yeah, a different winner. And,
It's almost certainly going to throw up some surprises,
yeah,
especially when
well,
you put the
yeah,
tire wear into effect as well.
that's very true. And actually, yeah, I won here last year in the Formula Challenge. Yeah, I wanted to name it, but yeah, but what you saw there is like, yeah, reverse grids on circuits like this, or in Monaco, or like these twisty, tidy circuits. It's very difficult to overtake, or as a very good driver to come to the field. It's possible, but it will still be difficult. Although with yeah, the 2018 car, they have DRS, so they might have it a bit easier than last year. But yeah, will be very interesting. And yeah, qualifying was also really close. So I guess we've got yeah, I think everybody who will start today, if they have a decent pace, a good tire wear, I think they gonna get into the points. So that would make that it is close, and only, yeah, only 50 can get into the points. So yeah, we will have some people that will not be happy because they were not consistent enough in the end. What do you think, Michael?
I think that, yeah, consistency is going to be a big key in this. I think also this is going to be a race that may favour people like Cliff Van der Ven, because they've gone through the academy race, which is slightly longer than
Yeah,
a Formula Challenge race. So they've got the experience of how to make those tyres last. And I know Cliff made his tyres last better than most in that academy race to begin with. So he's looking, if he can stay out of trouble first few laps, the race may play back into his hands. Same with David Krupa, same with Craig Patterson.
yeah, I'm agreeing on that. Yeah, that's something. Yeah, and of course tire wear. I'm not sure how everybody will go with the tires. Well, we know somebody like Clifton can go a distance with the tires, and everybody should. But of course, with a few laps to go, you will have less percentage of tire left, and yeah, that can hurt your yeah, when you're fighting. So it'll be very interesting to see. Our,
Also a lot less rear grip, as I hear some people dropping it and nose firsting into the wall. So that's a danger even on fresh tires. So as the race goes on, less rear grip, more danger of the rear end looping round.
yeah, yeah, that's very true. And yeah, going to look at the circuit, are there any corners where you think, well, those corners will be very difficult for the FC cars? Or yeah,
Not
what do
driven
you?
the FC car personally because I'm doing my
Okay,
testing with the Super Cup, but certainly turn 4 is going to be very touch and go on the opening few laps. Because it's going to be close. You're going to be losing
yeah,
most of your downforce going through there.
yeah,
The chicane is going to just concertina everybody up, so that's going to be have its own manner of difficulty, especially with how big the curbs are. So
yeah,
really difficult to run side by side through there. But some guys are going to try it. So I think for the
yeah.
first half lap, it's just going to be about staying clean, and whoever's in the lead going into the chicane, I think may pull enough of a gap to lead for a few laps just through there.
Yeah, I agree on that, of course, but you need to have the pace as well. Yeah, I drove the FC car, or the Academy car 1.5 weeks ago, and what I noticed was that in some corners, and I actually don't know the name of the corner, but if I say the Massa corner, you know which one I mean. I
Turn
think
4,
that,
the one at the top
yeah,
of the hill.
yeah, that
Yeah,
one is really tricky because it's a bit, it's blind, and there is a, yeah, anti cut, yeah, orange thingy, and
and a
yeah,
raised curb on the inside to boot.
yeah,
It's
yeah, it's very difficult, and if you, yeah, hit that with your yeah, bottom plate, it's not helping you in, yeah, in your balance. So I'm a bit fearing that, yeah, but also other points where the yeah, walls are pretty close. We will see some people, yeah, I think, yeah, walk away with some damage.
there's the call for the 1 minute till the start of the race.
Yeah, and I'm currently see everybody running off the grid into the pit. So only the cars are going lined up now. So yeah, we're waiting for everybody to line up for race one.
Now call it. Who's gonna win?
Yeah, I don't want to give a commentator's curse, but yeah, difficult. I'm going to call it. I think it will be Browning, because Browning is good, and I think being the leader with no DRS might be difficult. So we shall see what it will be.
I will mix up from you and I'll go Matthew Williams, but
Yeah.
of the two of these, Williams and Browning, they don't have anything really to lose. So we're going to see them go for it full steam, whereas the two Chris's have to, you know, take into consideration the championship.
So yeah, let's do the whole grid, and yeah, we start on pole position. It's Matthew Williams. I think this is not his first pole position, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, of course, he looks to be one of the favorites, if not the biggest favorite. In P2, it's Luke Browning. Well, good front row start from him. And yeah, let's see what he can do from there. Chris Shepard, yeah, he needed to qualify ahead of his main rival, and yeah, he did. So P3 for him, and yeah, his race pace is pretty dangerous. Well, his rival Chris Butcher now in P4. Let's see what he can do. I think he will target the podium for sure. In P5, it's Cliff Vandervin as a rookie, with Marcin Rebachuk in P6, with P7 for David Krupa, P8 from Craig Patterson, and then we got P9 from James Early. A good qualifying after some difficult races before the summer stop. And in P10 we've got Thomas Adrian Mihari Soa, pretty good qualifying, with Ivan Leonov in P11, with Wesley Stefano in P12, Sandeep Chopra in P13, Ross Woodford in P14, and Harry Graham in P15. David Judd now in P16 with Raunu Nuru in P17, Tom Davidson in P18 with Cameron Roger in P19. Then we've got in P20 Daniela Brambila with Dan Kell in P21, Pavel Andrzejewski, oh that name, in P22 with Ruben van den Hudding in P23, Andrei Borotowski P24, with Mikael Diolos Rios in P25, but I'm now currently seeing him standing into the pits. So interesting if he will still make the start, or maybe there are some more difficulties at there. Adrian Kampfit now in P26 with Mateusz Subinski P27, Mikael Galka P28 with Matthew Beavis in P29, and Ben Willis in P30. So that's the whole grid, and we're waiting for the lights. Let's see if we can get a clean race. It will be tight, so yeah. Going to be
a
ready.
key run down to turn 1.
Yeah, it's a long run, so let's see what they can do. Waiting for the lights.
Like Delos Rios is at the end of the pit lane already, and the lights are on. 1, 2, 3 lights, 4, 5. We go, and it's a good start by Browning, but Williams instantly comes over to cover.
Shepard, look at Shepard around the outside. That's what you want. Oh,
he's going for it.
Risk, yeah, but if he can do it, look at this Shepard from P3 to P1. He can do it, but now he got the inside. Shepard does it. Can he walk to corner, Williams? No, Shepard takes the lead. What a dude! What a dude! Yes, that's what we want to see. A great start and take momentum with you. We got some damage. Oh, everybody does quite okay.
He's all going into turn 4 together. Cliff Vanderveen gets stuck out on the anti-cut there, doing it kind of like a skateboard. As James Early's looking to make a pass, and that's one of the Mare Downards around in the background, and Apex as well, I think. And there's contact into the chicane, but everybody seems to save it, and they all come out of it very well. Daniele Brambilla has to do a curb jump in order to get through it. But back to the front, it's going to be Chris Shepard leading after that phenomenal start with a 6/10 gap already.
Yeah, I think I know what Chris Shepard wants to do now. He wants to drive out of the DRS window. of course, will be activated after 3 laps in here. So yeah, he's pushing like his life depends on it. And of course, he kind of got a lot of points back on Chris Butcher. So yeah, he knows. Yeah, he might can do it. So let's see. Williams still P2, Browning P3, Butcher still P4. Marcin Rebachuk, a great start from him. He gained at least 1 position now in P5. And the team boss Michael Teichmann of TR Racing will be very happy. It's Craig Patterson now in P6. Richard Runcliffe on Vin P7. David Cooper P8. So the rookies, all 4 survived and now are still in 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see. James Early good. Sandeep Shodha. Good start from Sandeep now in P10. Yeah, I had some problems.
He's come up a few.
4. Oh, we've got a problem.
Oh, behind him, Leonov!
Oh, Leonov.
He manages to save it.
Yeah, but he saved it. But yeah, I think he had a little bit of damage. Oh, we've got a spinner. I think it's Davidson or it's Graham. It's Graham. Graham's off.
At first lap for Davison as well, so that's both the downforces all the way down to the back, which is not going to be good for them as they're battling hard with the Schuberts and also a struggling Adrian Campfield. He's down to 27th. So we've lost Wesley Stefano. So of the 4 downforced and Mare Downard cars, 3 of them are already down.
Borchowski had a spin. I just looked where was Borchowski because he was one of the last positions. But he's still there. He's still
24th, battling with Dan Kell.
Running him a bit wide. So interesting. It's just this battle is quite intense. In the last
DRS.
position. Yeah. We already have got DRS.
Shepard's almost cleared it. DRS won't be active, I think, until the next lap, if memory serves. But Shepard only half a tenth away from clearing it, and Matthew Williams with a big orange car in his mirrors is Luke Browning. But they are seemingly pulling away from Chris Butcher, who's almost lost DRS himself, and Ribachuk going with him. The top 5 are breaking into 3 groups.
I didn't expect this to happen actually, because I really thought that Butcher could follow it. But maybe this is all the plan of Chris Butcher. But I think he knows all too well that he needs to, be good at the second phase of the race with tire wear as well. And let's see.
Perhaps he's playing the long game.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, the race is not that long, but yeah, it still can play the long game.
Williams and Browning have closed the gap on Shepard this lap. They're going to get DRS, I think, at the line, if I'm not mistaken. So this is going to be the first lap we might be seeing DRS into turn 1. When at it hammering tongs in the back, the 2 apexes of Ben Willis and Dan Kell, both against Andrei Boratovsky and Mateusz Zabinski, so battling even as far down as the battle for 22nd through 25th.
Yeah, and DRS is now activated. Very interesting. Let's see. Do we have got some people that climbed pretty good? Yeah, I think Matthew Beef is now in P20. I believe he started way down. I believe P28 or something. So he already, gained a lot of positions, and of course he's looking to get into the point scoring positions and maybe getting a reverse grid for race 2.
So Ben Willis is round.
Oh, Ben Willis.
Down at the back as he slips down all the way, rejoins just in front of Cameron Roger. Tom Davison's retired it, so that's 2 of them out. These top 3, they're closing in together, and they seem to be slowly but surely checking out ahead of Chris Butcher.
Yeah, that's actually what is happening, and I think Chris Butcher might lose DRS pretty soon. I think he still has it for now. Yeah, what he actually needs to hope is that Browning and Williams are going to fight really hard over it.
No, he doesn't. He's past the detection line. He doesn't have DRS this lap.
He doesn't have it. Oh, but look at what Williams is doing. Williams has still...
Fred is really trying to break that toe. I think anything's going to happen into turn 1 for sure, but Shepard does not want them gaining up on him in the slipstream.
Very interesting, of course. We're now on lap 5 of 18, so interesting. Yeah, Williams caught up a bit with Shepard. I think. I think he's. It's more or less status quo then, but yeah, it looks good. And Browning looks really good in some corners. Oh, look at this near perfect corner of Luke Browning, and he's getting closer and closer to the rest.
I think Browning he's looking the raciest of these three right now. It's just if he can sit on the back of Williams until they close into Shepard, that's probably going to be his best bet.
Yeah,
Because
but yeah,
they're leaving Chris Butcher is a bit of a spurt on. He's dropped Rybachuk, but he's still he's gonna probably be in DRS range. Yeah. Oh no, he's gonna miss it again this lap. But Browning, he's looking close to Williams. Williams, of course, gonna have DRS himself. And Shepard going very defensive again, even though he probably doesn't need to at this point. He's just trying to keep Williams from getting a nice toe. Oh, Browning sideways through turn one.
and Butcher's lap time wasn't even that bad. Yeah, the top 3 was a tenth faster last lap, so it's not that bad. It's not good enough for now. He can only follow and not attack, at least in this part of the race. Let's see. See something strange? No. Well, I must say, hats off to Cliff Vandervin for Team TF Racing, who actually had a pretty difficult season. And yeah, if he now can get some good results with Cliff, that would be great. But of course, we shouldn't curse Cliff during the race. But he's doing okay, and I think yeah, he still has a visual on P5. So interesting. In the second part of the race, maybe he can attack. And actually, his teammate Ranu Muru is now in P12, so that would be a decent amount of points for that team.
It's good to see the red cars up so high.
Yeah.
Usually Muru is one of the guys to look out for in the wet, but in the dry, it's good to see the red cars up there.
Yeah, that's very good. They sometimes have a bit of problems, yeah, getting through the field, or problems, yeah, that they didn't themselves. But yeah, for now it looks pretty good. And of
to
course,
close back in again. He's at least back in DRS range.
Yeah. Look at Butcher. Butcher is now saying, I'm now going to yeah, get back on it. Yeah.
Four car DRS train.
Yeah, it's cool if you are the guy that is in front, but not when you're the number 2 is like on your rear wing. That's not the case. Well, we have got a mistake from Browning. Yeah, Browning made a mistake, and run wide. And I think he might be dropped out of DRS range of Williams, and then Butcher might have a chance to attack. It was a really yeah, a little mistake into the turn 4 over the anti-cut curb, or it's not a curb, it's the orange line, and yeah, he made a mistake, but yeah, it directly cost him, I think, at least half a second, if not more. So.
Oh, and now he's off again. Come on, Luke, get your head back in it. Get it under control.
And look at Williams.
Butcher's right with him.
Yeah, look at Williams. Williams is attacking Shepard now, and this is very interesting. It's all like they all said, like now it will be lap 7, lap 8. The tire wear looks good. Now we're going to try to attack a little bit more. And look at Williams. Look at Williams. He's
up into 2.
This, of course, we saw, I believe, Daniel Ricciardo doing a good move into the outside of this, but yeah, I think it's not possible in the virtual circuit, or maybe it is. We shall see later. But yeah, Williams looks like he is now trying really hard to pass. Like he waited a bit, and now he knows that there's no pressure behind, or a little bit less pressure. And now
a mistake from Browning then may have just given Williams the ability to not look in his mirrors for a few laps, and now he's right on Shepard like a bloodhound.
Yeah, true. But I must say, Browning actually is getting back to it. So that last mistake last lap will not be fatal for him. And actually, he's driving away from Butcher again.
Donking lap from Brownie, even though he went off on the end of the previous lap, he's right there again.
Yeah, and that says
But
that
Williams is going to be right under Shepherd, under Shepherd's rear wing as they come out of the final turn. Shepherd going entirely for exit speed there. Look.
Yeah.
Because he's not got DRS, he needs to just make every mile an hour count.
Yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. It will be inside for Shepherd, outside for Williams. Williams brakes later, walks the corner. Can he block the corner? No.
DRS though.
Chris. Oh yeah, but Chris needs to shut the door close. Wow, my English. Oh, and look at Browning. Browning is there as well. So the top 3 is now really close, closer than they've been before. And yeah, I think this will only help Chris Butcher because yeah, they're so intense battling with each other that Butcher will move up as well. Yeah, look at that battling. 3 cars, 3 different teams. Actually, we've got a 4th car, 4 different team getting up. This would be amazing. This is what FC racing is all about. Yeah, drivers against each other. And actually,
Shepherd left the door open and Williams had a sniff.
And actually, they're all English, so that's very good. So,
Shepherd's really on the defensive. I think he's aware he's about to be in for a world of trouble coming through the first sector of the next lap. He's got 3 cars right under his rear wing. And if Williams doesn't clear him by turn 1, I'll be very surprised with that DRS and the slipstream.
Oh, look at the exit. He's trying very hard. Oh, outside, yeah. He doesn't want him. Oh, well, we got a weaving competition. Oh, inside.
Oh, he's got the nose.
Oh, he's trying, and now he's there. Oh,
Fritz got the run on the outside. Here comes Browning.
Will Browning go? Yeah, what you do? You need to attack or defend? Oh, interesting. No, not yet. Class,
yeah, Shepherd.
And
Browning's going to be right in there.
Butcher is just waiting. Butcher's waiting. He's thinking, well, this race is still 8 laps long. There's not going to do stupid things and just wait how this unfolds. I think.
Still time to go. As they're going to come through the second sector. I think this is going to be a case of just not make mistakes. There's not really many overtaking spots as Butcher runs a tad wide out through that chicane. This is all going to be now possibly setting up into the 3rd to last corner, but Shepherd seems to have got just enough of a gap to hold it.
Yes, well,
he still goes defensive though.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the top 15 positions for now. It's Daniela Brambilla now in P15, with Ross Woodford P14, with David Junt now in P13. With Rauno Muru in P12, with Ivan Leonov in P11, with Sandeep Shoda in P10, with James Early P9, David Krupa in P8, with Cliff Vanderf in P7. Craig Patterson looks very racy in P6.
Oh, here we go, Menno. Matthew Williams for the lead. He's got a really good run. He's around the outside of Shepherd. Oh, he's cleared him on the braking zone, but he's on the outside. He needs to get the run through the corner.
He's got it.
It looks like he's got it. He's got the second DRS to help and the inside. Yeah. It should be it for Williams. Shepherd there, he's going to try and slot in underneath. Williams gets it stopped nicely on the apex and coming out of turn 3. Matthew Williams takes the lead for Cenobite ahead of Chris Shepherd. Luke Browning has now seen how to do it, but Shepherd's going to have DRS and he's going to be back on the attack.
I think it was a mistake from Shepherd. I think he was a bit shocked because he got some dirty air behind Williams now. Having no dirty air before, so he had a little bit of a problem turning in just before into 4. Yeah, that looks very, very good still for the top 4. And Chris Shepherd might be able to attack again the next lap because now he will.
I expect he'll go for it. Nothing to lose by going for it, and everything to gain because he's got a very hungry driver in Luke Browning, and then his championship rival in Chris Butcher raining up on him now.
Yeah, true. And actually, number 5, 6, and 7, even number 8 and 9 maybe, are getting closer and closer to the top 4. So actually, this is an amazing battle and a close battle. But
so we've got the legs on Shepherd at this point. Shepherd's not even going to get close.
No. Didn't expect
He's gone
that,
late on the brakes though. Made a big close. Browning and Butcher still there. In the battle behind, Craig Patterson's looking at Martin Rebeshuk and Cliff van der Vin looking. They're all going very choppy through turn 2.
Yeah. Well, we had a dive bomb from Raunumuru on even Leon for P11. That was an amazing dive bomb. Enough saw through it, and yeah, he's still in 11 and Muru in P12.
This battle down in well, it was Andrew Hamisoa versus Brambilla was absolutely titanic over 15th. I was checking on it when Williams and Shepard were going at it for the lead. It seems like Brambilla's passed and managed to clear and caught the group in front. But certainly Ross Woodford there looking a bit loose on the back of David Yunt. All 5 of these guys battling for decent reverse grid point position and decent points as well. So that's going to be a battle that may even get slightly more heated than the battle for the lead.
Yeah, and of course, all the positions are important because of the starting and of race 2, of course, the grid. But yeah, that top 15 will give points, so every point will be 1. And that's,
no, Leonov! Leonov spun!
Oh, what happened there? On his own?
Was he pushed or did he fall? Oh no, that was Muru went to the inside and Leonov turned in. I guess he didn't see him. And Leonov got spun around. Van den Hudding's lost his front wing out of somewhere. He's going to have to take a trip down the pit lane.
Look at Butcher on Browning! Butcher and Browning! For P3, look at that. Butcher is going to around the outside, but no, not yet. Not yet.
Behind them, an identical move between Patterson and Ribachek. Oh, that's close. Patterson's run wide. Here comes Cliff. Cliff van der Vin clears Craig Patterson on the run up to turn 4. Now everyone's seeing the checkered flag coming closer. They know there's less time to make their moves. David Yunt's gotten up to 11th through that mid-pack battling.
Experience. That's skill and experience for David Yunt right there. So
isn't it? Just qualify in the mid-pack, run through for a good reverse grid, and then show what you can really do in the second race. Nearly won me a championship driving for my team doing that.
Yeah, that's certainly a way. Good. Let's see. Shepard is still close.
He's close enough to have a go if he can get the final turn right. It looks like these two have separated themselves from Browning and Butcher, just a hair. Williams not going to the pit wall like Shepard does.
That shows
quite so much.
Yeah, that shows that he's confident. Like, you can come, get my slipstream. We'll not get past.
Oh, in the background, Ribachek is spun in the middle of the straight. Really odd.
What happened there then?
What happened? He just went. He dropped the wheel almost.
Oh my god! Oh, this is so.
That's on the straight. That looks like possibly a screen freeze, maybe, or a lockup or something like that. That looks really odd. But Ribachek now no front wing, down in 14th, gonna have to run through the pit lane.
Oh,
that's dropped him out of that 5th place. He was running really well for TR, and they need some good results.
That's unfortunate, but yeah, that's racing as well. We had a bit of a bad exit into one of the corners for Matthew Winning. Shepard is close. Browning is not close to P2, but yeah, Butcher is now good. Oh, and look, yeah, Van der Vin, Cliff van der Vin is now in P5. So after a bit of a difficult start, he's now in the P5 again, where he, I believe, started. Yeah, that would be
yeah.
This would be a celebration for a team if they can get it. But look,
also, running strong in 9th.
Yeah. Yeah, shot Sandeep looks pretty good.
Kind of in no man's land.
Yeah. But
having his gearbox problems earlier.
Yeah, he had some gearbox problems, yeah. And look at Patterson and Krupa. They are both from the academy team, which is of course a team that can only have drivers for 1 or 2 rounds. And actually, what they are doing looks pretty good. So it will be a lot of points for the academy team, and yeah, it's good for that team as well. But first they need to finish before they get any points, and that's yeah, what happens with Ribachuk. He looks really good, really strong, but one mistake can cost you. And yeah,
Just watching Rono Muru try and go around the outside of David Yunt through turn 2. That's not gone well for Muru, and Rambil has now got the run. As they come up the hill, he's not going to make a move through turn 4, but maybe he's going to send it through turn 5. All around the outside, Muru.
Oh.
Brambilla's just cleared him completely around the outside.
Wow. That's amazing.
From
Well
Brambilla.
done, Brambilla. Yeah, this is of course important because from Yunt, Brambilla, Muru, Woodford, Thomas, Adrian Muriso, and Beefis, who actually did amazing to get in P15 from the rear of the grid. Yeah, they will potentially have a reverse grid pole there, and of course now points. So that would be very important for race 2 to see what will happen there with the reverse grid. Let's see.
There's battles all through the field. There's a battle going on for the 24th and 25th, the 2 last place runners. They're still going at it all the way back down there. As Rybacek, after his pit stops, out 23rd, battling with another person who's had to go through the pits this race, Ruben van den Hudding. Been a few retirements, Dan Kell, Ben Willis and Cameron Roger, in addition to the Tom Davison and Wesley Stefano that were mentioned earlier. Well, at the moment is P5 and P6 between Van der Ven and Craig Patterson. These two came into battle right at the end of the Academy race last week, and Patterson on a 2-stop strategy and fresher tyres managed to get the better of Cliff then, but now on even ground, let's see what Cliff can do.
Yeah, I believe they touched each other and they spun, but I think that was not intentional in the Academy race. But yeah, they know each other, but I think they respect each other and both know this is an amazing position if they can finish in this position. So interesting. And getting back on the front, Matthew Williams looks pretty damn good to win this race. And he cleared Chris Shepherd now, who only will have one aim, and that's getting points back on Chris Butcher, and that's what happening now. Browning
Browning's dropped Butcher. It's going to be Browning and Shepherd is going to be the battle out of these 4, I think. Browning is slowly inching up on the back of Shepherd, and in the background, Van der Ven hugs the pit wall and then goes across the circuit to try and break the draft from Patterson. That's close as they negotiate the back marker, who's doing a sensible job of staying out the way, coming out the pit lane.
And look at Craig Patterson. He is very racy. He's very racy. Look at that. He's on the on the rear ring more or less of Cliff Van der Ven, and he wants to get that P5. That would be an amazing result, but he runs wide. Craig Patterson runs wide, but he actually...
Oh, Krupa behind, made the same mistake as Patterson, nearly dropped it on re-entry, and that's given James Early a massive opportunity to have a go at him.
Yeah, I think I know.
Come into the chicane.
I think I know what the problem is. The tires are getting less now, and I think they expect a certain degree of grip to the corner, and it's not giving them that grip anymore, and then it will give some problems. But look at Browning, he's close to Shepherd. Oh, interesting. Can Browning pass with DRS? Oh, look at that. The car of Browning looks more and more stable than Chris
that's
Shepherd.
an aggressive run. That's an aggressive dive from Browning. That wasn't meant as an overtake. I don't think that was just to try and scare Shepherd off the apex.
One lap to go with Matthew Williams leading. Shepherd P2, Browning in P3. Can he do it, or can Chris Shepherd stay ahead? For now he can, but let's look at the second DRS.
Early's past Krupa for 7th. Maybe Krupa is starting to fall off.
Yeah, I actually know that Krupa is getting managed during the race by the former, still the current Formula Challenge champion Maciej Mlinek. So he will be sensible, get this position. We also have race 2 and get good points. So I think that's what he's saying. So last lap. And
this is going to be a run to the line between these top 3. They've closed right back up on Williams, and Browning is closed right up on Shepherd. He's almost pushing him through the corners there. Looks like there's action in behind us. Oh, Brambilla's crashed. That's going to be big for reverse grid and for points. But back to the front, Shepherd, a half defending from Browning, half a car length out, so Browning's not going to try anything. Who's it going to be?
Oh,
Williams isn't going to have any DRS, but Shepard and Browning have further to go.
it will be status
Williams.
quo. I think it will be status quo. And out of the last corner, it's Matthew Williams. He's going to win the race with Shepard P2, Browning P3, Wada close top 3, Butcher
Run from all the
P4,
top 6.
Cliff Van Aven P5, and Craig Patterson P6. Well done. James Willie P7, David Krupa now finishes P8, Sandeep Chota in P9, good points. David Jones, after a difficult race, still managed to get top 10 and a reversed grid, good reverse grid position. Ranu Muru P11 with Ross Woodford. Well done, Ross Woodford P12. Thomas Adrian Harris P13. He will not be happy with that because he qualified higher. Matthew Beavis, really good race after starting from other position. And even Leonov got the last position, point scoring position, so that's very good.
After
and
a hard race
outside,
from Leonov.
Yeah. Outside of the points is Mikael Delas Rios in P16, Harry Graham in P17, Michael Galka in P18 with Marcin Ribashuk in P19, still P19. With Matthias Stubinsky P20, with Ruben van der Heijden P21, Adrian Campfield only P22, with Andrei Bortowski P23, and then we've got the retirements. Those are Bram Vila in P24, Pavel Andrei Nevsky in P25, Dan Kell P26. I wanted to say Bruce Willis, but of course I mean Ben Willis in P27, Cameron Roger in P28, and Tom Davidson P29, and Wesley Stefano, our first retirement in the 30th position.
That's some interesting candidates for a reverse grid pole in there. Harry Graham, he's going to be definitely a threat to win if he can get put on the reverse grid pole. Michael Galka's going to make it interesting. Miguel de los Rios as well.
No, it's 10 to 15, so they are already
oh, is it?
dropped. Yeah, it used to be higher. It used to be higher actually, but now it's 10 to 15. So actually, it could be benefiting David Junt or Ranu Muru, Ross Woodford, maybe Thomas Adriano Harisoa, but you beat his or Leonov, and yeah, I know even Leonov is the kind of guy that will if he gets the chance, will just win race 2 for you. I can say that.
It's going to be very difficult to pass if he can get to the front.
But a very interesting race, actually. So yeah, it's another win for Matthew Williams, and this will help him in the championship. I believe he's now P4 in the championship behind Junt, Shepard, and Butcher. But yeah,
Junt with a relatively poor score. Only P10. It's David Junt. He's someone who should be expecting to be running up in the top 5. Same as Adrian Campfield, who must have had a horrendous race to come home 22nd. I know he started really far down because of grid penalties, but that's 22nd. That's you really want to be expecting more from a driver of his standard.
So yeah, we needed to wait a bit for race 2, but yeah, it was an amazing battle actually, Michael. I mean, the top 4 was pretty close, and yeah, behind there we had a second group of 4 people. And those were 4 rookies. So yeah, I found it.
The academy graduates doing well there.
Yeah, the academy graduates. Yeah, some of them already got a long time deal at an FC team, so that's good to see. So. See.
Sandeep in P9, good result for him, especially with the gearbox troubles.
Yeah, and it is actually very good because we know Sandeep is a decent driver, but yeah, you still need to do it, getting out of trouble, and yeah, Sandeep hit trouble hit him a lot of on a lot of occasions this year, but I think today or at least in race 1 he was pretty decent, and this was the maximum what he can do, and let's see what will happen with him in race 2 with our one of our favorite Indian drivers. So yeah.
So with that top 4 battle, you could see almost the the two different mindsets that were going on, because it did seem like Chris Butcher wasn't necessarily being, he was more thinking championship almost when you were looking at them racing against each other a lot of the time. Like he went for the move on Browning, but other than that, he seemed fairly quiet. So does that mean that he's either not got quite the other three, or if he's thinking more long game,
I,
whereas Shepard knows he needs to gain points, and Matthew Williams and Luke Browning, they're just out to try and get the individual race glory.
I know. I think Chris Butcher just thinks like there are two races. Of course, he's got 30 points ahead of Chris Shepard in the championship. So yeah, he needs to use that. Yeah, now he lost, I believe, what is it, 7 points in this race. But of course, he will start in front of him in race 2. So yeah, I think he will throw it a bit more on race 2. And yeah, then you can even afford to lose some points because yeah, he lost 7 points to Shepard, but yeah, he still gained a lot of points. So yeah, it will still be difficult for Shepard to yeah, and it will take long to him to yeah pass him then in the championship. But we shall see. See, we can see. Just looking in the into the current championship standings. There is Chris Butcher on 304 currently, without this race being added. Chris Shepard on 274. David Judd on 223. Matthew Williams now on 167. With even Leonov in P5 with 114. That's now currently your top 5.
Leonov has won 2 race 2s this year, so if he can get lucky with the reverse grid draw, he could definitely be a contender to win this next one, and then Cenobite could potentially win both races of this event.
Yeah, and I believe they did that in Germany. Yes, that
Germany
actually did it. So the last 3 races we had, it was always a Cenobite that won. So interesting.
for the reverse grid draw. Involved a lot with the Academy series. Are you impressed at your Academy graduates?
I'm pretty impressed. Yeah, about yeah all 3 of them. Yeah, and look at that. What the reverse grid number is? It's number 15. Leonov and Paul. That's what we said. You give him a chance, and he will make sure he can do it.
Difficult to pass with a driver that's difficult to pass. Who he should have had a better race 1, but for an incident that caused him to go and drop down the field, he's definitely got the pace to be running higher than the 15th place he finished. So it's going to be a bit of a gap by the time the Luke Brownings, Matthew Williamses, Chris Butchers, and Chris Shepards, by the time they get through, if they get through, he could potentially win this race again.
Yeah, that's very true. And sometimes you have a bit of bad luck, but it can always help you in race 2. I remember, well, for myself in some occasions, like last year, I had a crash, but I went on to finish in P11, and then I got reverse grid pole last season. So sometimes, yeah, you got into an incident, but you still do the maximum you can, and yes, yeah, sometimes you are a bit lucky and that still gives you a pole position, and then yeah, you've got all the chances for race 2.
Silver lining and proof that you shouldn't really ever give up, because even as late as the last lap, Daniele Brambilla made a mistake out of turn 4, hit the wall, and had a DNF that promoted Ivan Leonov up into 15th. So he's really been handed this opportunity. Now it's up to him not to let it go to waste.
Yeah, true, but it will be very difficult for him. And I'm not sure if he's got the
Matt Beavis, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he got the outright pace today to do it. We shall see.
So he could have top 10 pace. Like he was ahead of David Yunt when he had his incident.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if he can get clear track and put his foot down, he could build a bit of a gap. Because Matt Beavis, he had a good solid race to finish 14th from way down the grid, but he didn't seem to necessarily have quite the legs that Leonov had. So if Beavis can jump Leonov on the way down to turn 1, that's going to be a story.
Yeah, and then of course it's possible if you've got just the right launch. You can do it, but let's see what will.
Well, you could see Chris
happen
Shepard in the last race. From 3rd place on the grid, managed to get himself up onto the outside. And Williams defended from Browning, Browning defended from Butcher, and Chris Shepard just chucked it around the outside and made it stick. Just running on the racing line versus defending the inside.
Yeah, and how long do we got to go? We've got 1 minute before the start of race 2. So we need to wait a bit for it.
As someone who's going to be looking for a better race 2 is going to be Downforce. Certainly Harry Graham's got the pace to run up there, and Tom Davidson was looking decent in practice as well, and then both of them early on dropped all the way down to the back, and in the end Davidson didn't finish, and Harry Graham only 17th, so they've got some work to do and some fast cars in front of them.
Yeah, very true. And we now see some people putting in some laps or doing some practice starts, so it's all helping them, and very interesting what will happen in race 2. But we need to wait a little bit longer, and then we're going to find out. And then we will give, of course, the grid for race 2. We will take you through that once more. We still have all 30 drivers in race 2, so nobody left during after race 1. I mean, so that's good.
Michael Galta's had a massive accident. He's lost one of the rear wheels, and there's this smoke coming out of the engine. Throw a shrimp on that, Barbie. It's gone up in smoke.
Yeah, but luckily it's only the warm up. Yeah, I mean,
time for Schubert to get that car spick and span and ready for the next race.
Yeah.
There's another team who'd be hoping for a much better race too. Is Schubert? I think Roger had and Galka was what finished 18th, so not going to be happy with those results.
Yeah, so we're waiting for everybody to line up, and it will be a very interesting race 2. What can the top 4 from race 1? What can they do? They need to go through the fields. Can they do it as fast as they think they can, or will they be into traffic? Will we see one of the higher starting guys now in race 2? Will we see one or two stretch the legs? Very interesting.
Got Ross Woodford starting in 4th. He's, if memory serves, he was looking good for a podium back all the way in Shanghai before some contact. I believe it was Woodford got hit out of 2nd or 3rd, maybe. He's starting up in 4th, and then David Young, almost the master of the reverse grid a few years ago in the World Sports Series, he's starting in P6. 7, he's got some pace on him. It's a bit of an odd reverse grid. There's a lot of winning contending drivers starting at the front.
Yeah, and that makes it very, very interesting. But let's take you through the starting grid from race 2. From pole position, it's Ivan Leonov. Already won the last second race in Hockenheim, so interesting if he can do it again. We shall see. Matthew Beavis in P2. Great starting position after a good race 1, so interesting what he can do. Thomas Adrian Marisol in P3. Always dangerous. Not outright the fastest driver, but he can drive with his heart, and Thomas can do very good. Ross Woodford in P4, close to the podium. Interesting if he can battle for the podium positions. We've got Ronald Moore in P5. Very good if he can get hold to a top 5 position. David Jones at P6, so it's all to play for David Jones for good points. Sandy Chota in P7, with David Krupa in P8, James Early in P9, and Craig Pedersen now starting from P10. Then it's Cliff Van der Ven starting in 11th, with Chris Butcher in P12, with Luke Browning P13, with Chris Shepard now in P14, and our race 1 winner Matthew Williams in P15, with Mikael Lolos Rios in P16, Harry Graham in P17, Mikael Galka in P18, Marcin Rebashuk wants to get into the points from P19 upwards, Theo Siminski P20, Ruben van den Hunning P21, Adrian Kampfield P22, with Andrei Borotowski P23, and we've got Daniela Brambila P24, with Pavel Andrzejewski in P25, with Dan Kell P26. Ben Willis now in P27, with Cameron Roger P28. Then we've got Tom Davison in P29 and Wesley Stefano in last position, 30th position. So, who's your favorite for race 2, Michael?
Very, very difficult to pick. Ivan Leonov, the form book says he should be good, but I'm going to make a bit of an off-the-wall pick. I'm going to go for Ross Woodford.
Okay, I will go for Craig Pedersen. I just have a feeling then, he or Cliff Van der Ven, if they can get a bit to the field as a rookie, we might see the rookie sensation win. But yeah, we shall see.
Expect a big run through as well from people like Daniele Brambilla and Adrian Cantville back from 22nd and 24th. 3 lights are on, 4, 5, and they're away. And it's a great launch by Matt Beavers.
Oh, look at that. He's already alongside and he knows it. He knows he just needs to, break it next to Leonov. Can he do it? Oh, he breaks as late as he can.
And he chowed it down the middle for 3rd. That's crazy from Sandeep. He's made it work though.
Oh, look at that, look at that. Ooh, bit of touchy,
Poor white, nudges. That's Butcher. That's Butcher involved. And one of the Royal Blues is backwards. I think that could be James Early. Yes, it is. This leads on the run up to turn 4. Chris Butcher's already gotten his nose cut off. I think he's okay though. I can't find him in the list. He's up into 11th actually. They're 3 wide on the run up to turn 4. It's a crazy start. You can tell this is a race 2.
Yeah, it's all to play for. And now we waited a long time for, to be not that aggressive. And now they think race 2 we're going to be ultra aggressive. And
That Ruben van den Hooden getting stuck in already.
Borotowski spins, but doesn't lose his wings. Let's see, do we got anybody losing his wings? No. So it's Matthew Beavis.
He didn't start from Matthew Beavis. He did exactly what he needed to do there, Menno.
Yeah, and can he then get the decent points? Which we looked, we thought it would have been scored by Marcin. Can he do it? Then where's Marcin in all of this?
He started all the way down at the back. He's no, that's not him. He's all the way down there in 28th. He's just been passed by Tom Davison. So Marcin Rebizuk having a really, really torrid time. I think what could help Matthew Beavis is if Ross Woodford manages to catch Ivan Leonov before Leonov catches him.
Yeah. And
Butcher now passing Patterson. He's going for it round the outside of turn 2. And Butcher's done it. That's through up into 9th. Shepard's already through to 7th though, so Butcher's got a bit of ground to be making up, as does Luke Browning and Matthew Williams, only to 11th and 12th.
And if I look at it, this will be a very difficult race for Chris Shepard. Of course, he already is P7, but to win it, I think that this will be nearly impossible. He needs to, really have a lot of more pace than the guys in front, and I'm not sure if he has. But we shall see. He's already in P7, so that's great. He already passed Butcher again, so yeah, he will get a lot of points from Butcher. The championship, so that's interesting.
He's already all over the back of Douwe Krupa. Gotten to having DRS enabled yet, and Shepard's already seeming to be picking people off. Not quite at will, but definitely without a huge amount of difficulty. Shepard's on it at the moment.
Yeah, but we need to see if he can pass a few. It looks like he's trying to get past Krupa. Can he do it?
It's cleared Craig Patterson.
Yeah.
Just for the outside, breaks late, and he's got the outside. That means he's got the run.
Oh, but look at Krupa. Oh,
Krupa doesn't want to give it up.
Yeah, but
Shepard with a nudge back.
Oh,
Nudge in the middle of the corner. Shepard's lost it. No, he hasn't. He's saved it. Krupa's still there as they're on the inside to turn 3. Oh, contact. Krupa's around. And Butcher's off. Oh, Chris Butcher threaded
oh
the
my
needle
God.
there. And here comes
Oh,
Luke Browning down the inside into turn 4. As they're still side by
Krupa.
side. Oh, and Browning's around. Browning into the wall. That's contact.
What happened there? Oh.
This front wing, but Browning now rejoining slowly on the outside of the circuit. So Browning and Krupa back on in 17th and 18th after their respective excursions.
But
Not good for
yeah,
either of them.
yeah. Of course, it was not the plan for David Krupa to spin there, but even in his spin, when he was spinning, he showed a bit of skill. Yeah, and yeah, it was a Butcher, Chris Butcher with yeah, amazing reflections. Yeah, to not crash into it. So interesting.
Good avoidance from Butcher. You can probably see his championship flash before his eyes momentarily there.
Yeah. Look at Matthew Beavis, he's still leading, but yeah, now the DRS will come into play, and yeah, even Leonov has got DRS, and they actually got away from Ross Woodford.
David Yunt, by the way, for 3rd. He's chucking it down the inside of Ross Woodford. Eat it, is David Yunt. Good move. Good move there from Dundu. Up to 3rd, covering off the attack from Woodford now into turn 2.
Yeah, and but it's still a good position for Woodford. And look at Sandeep. Sandeep now in P5, and yeah, he looks very racy today. It's like he's got something to prove, and maybe he has. And if he can get P5, it will be pretty good. Let's see.
Slide into turn 4 then. I think that's a bit crazy from you, Sandeep. 14th behind Michael Galka. There's the two. There's Paweł Andrzejewski, Mateusz Zabinski, Luke Browning, David Krupa, Ruben van den Hudding, and Adrian Campfield. As Krupa's gone for it on Browning and made a meal of it through the chicane. Here comes van den Hudding. Oh, slight bit of contact. Krupa's off again into the wall. This time he's lost his front wing.
Yeah, that was unfortunately that was going to happen. I think he turned in a bit too sharp, and there was still a car. Yeah. There, so yeah, no points for Krupa, I fear, in race 2. But yeah, it's all a learning process. But yeah, he had a great first race. But yeah, this time he was in a bit of incident, but he still he looks to have a decent pace. So hopefully we'll see him back. By now will retire from the race.
Oh, Leonov with a huge dive. He's got through on turn 1, but he slid wide. Beavis has come back, but Leonov. Oh, Beavis, great spatial awareness to get across the front of Leonov there without actually chopping his nose off. Good move from Matt Beavis to retake the lead there, but Leonov, that was a really crazy lunge. But now we know he's in the thought process that he's going to try and pull those off. As I see movement again back in 14th, 15th, as Michael Galka drops back behind Paweł Andrzejewski. Is now under pressure from Zabinski as they come up to turn 4. This is for the back end of the points. Zabinski. Did Zabinski clip the back of him there?
Yeah, I believe
the cameras went behind the tree and Zabinski came out of it backwards.
I believe.
Yeah, Zabinski touches the back of Galka and round he goes.
Yeah, it's Zabinski's own mistake. So yeah, that's points throwing out of the window. See, yeah, and Luke Browning now only in P16. Yeah, so you can have a great race in race 1, but if you can't score points in race 2, that will hurt your championship, of course, as well.
A very near miss with an anti-cut. He grinded out along the top of it and just slid. Very good job to hold it and not spear into a barrier when he came back down. But Chris Shepard, along with Thomas Andrea Misoa, they've caught Sandeep Choda now. And Shepard looked like he was going to have a go in the third to last corner, but as they come down the long straight, Shepard with DRS and the slipstream, he's looking to the inside. Thinks better of it. Sandeep's going to try and look to keep on the back of Ross Woodford. But Shepard's certainly looming large. And Andrea Misoa is looking pretty racy, even against the back of Chris Shepard, as Chris Butcher's ranged in on this battle as well. And then just in behind, Matthew Williams really struggling to drop Cliff van der Ven. Van der Ven's been up under his rear wing for a few laps now.
Yeah, I did not see Cliff van der Ven doing a foot wrong. Well, maybe except of the start of race 1, but yeah, it looks he looks decent, and the team boss will be more than pleased to see him finish where he is now. That would mean a double top 10. That's what the team needs. So yeah. So,
Oh, Matthew Beavis there. Leonov kicked up some dust, using a bit more of the circuit on the exit of the turns there, as Leonov is looking to try and reel that gap down. Certainly looks like he could be within range of a possible move, but if he's going to do it, he's got to get it stuck this time rather than just sliding straight on by. There's more action back with Michael Galka as he's run wide, and through is Adrian Campfield up into the points. So it seems like it's all action around Michael Galka. Got the two Mare Downards behind him. Butcher's through on Andrea Masoa for 7th.
Did he do it? Alright. No. But yeah, that would mean still decent points for Chris Butcher and Chris Shepard if they can finish in this position. Yeah, but look at Butcher. Butcher is right. Yeah, he's got his championship rival now directly in front of him, and yeah, makes up a lot of ground. Not even
if they're finishing down here, I think Butcher wouldn't mind finishing one place behind Shepard. There's only 1 point gaps. And if Shepard can't make any progress, then it's going to be decent for Butcher.
Well, we had even Leonov cutting a corner. He just missed it, one of the corners a bit, but didn't want a lot of time with it.
He lost time almost, nearly half a second lost in that sector. It seems like Ross Woodford is becoming slightly the cork in the bottle in P4. He's got Choda, Shepard, Butcher, Andrea Miharisawa, Williams, and Cliff Vandervin all tucked up behind Craig Patterson and Harry Graham with a much better race too, closing in on the back of this group.
Yeah, and judging at lap times, I see Sandy going really fast. Oh, but hadn't really. We just missed a dive from Leonov, I believe, but he didn't make it stick. He is racy, but he still has, I think, half of the race still to go. So very interesting.
Michael Galka battling down into turn 2, changing directions 3 or 4 times each. That looked quite funny. As Shepard's past Sandeep Choda. Oh, Sandeep's off! All the way down. Through goes Williams, through goes Vandervin. Sandeep Choda down into 10th.
What happened there? Did he just run wide over the anti-grid?
He just think he lost it through turn 5.
He lost it, but a great reflex to still catch it. Could have been game over, but yeah, he showed skill not to to do that. So still in top 10, but of course out of the top 5 position. Yeah, what would you do, Michael, if you are Chris Butcher or Chris Shepard? You can actually see the current leader still driving, and you think, well, there's still plenty of time to catch up to those, or what do you think? You're just busy.
Well, if I'm Chris Shepard, I can see where Chris Butcher is, and I'm thinking, right, I need to clear Ross Woodford because I know I've got the pace on David Yunt, I know I've got the pace on Ivan Leonov, and I know I've got the pace on Matthew Beavis. I need to get some points done. If I'm Chris Butcher, I'm more thinking I just need to follow Chris Shepard at this point, and then, if I see a gap, see an opportunity, then take it to get the overtake.
Yeah, like Chris Butcher is more like the Alan Prost of this championship now. Like, if you can win, it's okay, but always do the maximum what you can. If you can't, if P6 is the maximum, you just do P6. And yeah, I think that's what made Chris Butcher so strong. He's just always getting the maximum. Well, yeah, Chris Shepard now is a bit more the attacking one, and the one that needs to make.
Well, Shepard's got the gap to close. I mean, he closed it 12 points, I believe, in race 1. Yeah. Which means it's down to, what, 18? Yeah. But right now he's only closing it by 1 point in this race. And if Butcher can make the passes, Woodford slides wide. This could be an opportunity for Shepard. But Shepard's on the outside. Yeah. Inside, behind Woodford could be open. Oh, small bit of contact. But Shepard looks like he's forced the move on Woodford, but Woodford's now gone very wide. I'm not sure if Woodford's even going to have DRS, but Woodford's off. Chris Butcher's going to come down the inside. Woodford's still straddling the grass.
Oh,
Andrew Miso in the background under attack. Here comes Matthew Williams. Williams gonna go for, he's gone for Andrew Misoa. So that's up to P7 for Matthew Williams, P5 for Chris Butcher, and P4 for Chris Shepherd, as Sandeep Chota and Craig Patterson go into battle for P10.
Oh, we've got nearly a spinner in the Thomas Marisol, but no.
Van der Ven's looking to get the run on him.
Craig Patterson now in P10, yeah. Let's see, he's got the final.
Oh, Cliff's lost it! He went through turn 4, just got a wheel on the anti-cut on the outside. Through goes Patterson. Oh, good avoidance from Chota and from Harry Graham on the rejoining Cliff Van der Ven.
And he's still in the points, so that's good. Oh, look, watch out with Harry Graham, Griff. But it's more or less okay.
Side.
Oh, they touch.
Robin's racing with these two at the moment.
Yeah, but Cliff, yeah, shows he's a little bit faster. So that's good.
We have an interesting scenario. If Chris Shepherd catches David Yunt, he's stuck between the two red arrows. Is Yunt going to play the team game?
Well,
Or is Yunt, because Yunt's slowly gaining on Ivan Leonov. Horror movie villain in your rear view mirror just keeps getting closer and closer. Leonov's running out of time to make the move on Matthew Beavis, who's still leading and still doing a very good job.
Yeah, that's very true, and yeah, all three could win the race, but David Yunt was the fastest of those three in the current lap, in the last lap, so...
Campfield up to 13th. He's definitely coming back into play for some nice points.
Oh, Cliff Van der Ven next to Harry Graham again, yeah. Hangs on to P11.
I think is looking the racier of these two. Cliff's made a mistake, and he almost looks conscious of it because he's given that anti-cut a much wider berth. He doesn't want to go round again. He knows the time loss that can come from it.
And let's see, Chris Shepherd and Chris Butcher are not closing that fast. Yeah, on David Yunt. But yeah, we need to say that, of course, David Yunt has DRS, and Chris Shepherd doesn't have DRS. Well, Chris Butcher does have
quite.
DRS.
Shepherd's closing fast enough that I think they might get it next lap, but I have to see. The top three doing quite a good job to hold on, actually. But it looks like the two Chris's, they've got the pace over Matthew Williams almost in this race. Back of the pack, still a decent battle going on. Michael Galka, James Early, and then Andrew Yuski versus Brambilla. And Dan Kell loops it around in 20th. Oh, and Ben Willis slams into the wall. Really not a good lap for Apex.
Well,
and Dan Kell into the wall again.
Then and now we had Cliff Van der Ven off, and now he's in P13. So let's give you the top 50 positions. In 50 positions, it's now Luke Browning after a mistake in the early part of the race. In P14, it's Raul Muru. With in P13 now, Cliff Van der Ven with Adrian Campfield now in P12. With Harry Graham now in P11, with Sandeep Chota now in P10, with Craig Patterson in P9, with Thomas Adrian Marisol in P8, with Ross Woodford after a good start, a little bit down now in P7, with Matthew Williams now in P6, Chris Butcher in P5, with Chris Shepherd in P4, David Yunt in P3, Ivan Leonov in P2, Matthew Beavis still leading the race. Can he win it? Question mark.
He definitely can, looking at the way he's driving.
It would be something. I know he put a lot of effort in testing this car, and I believe he even trained with his dad on the circuit. His dad raced the Academy Series. So yeah, he's putting his time in, and maybe his dad is watching. If that's the case, hello, dad of Matthew Beavis. Let's hope for the best, but we're not there yet, so let's see. Even Leonov, yeah, it's close, but not close enough. And yeah, unless something happens, I think Beavis looks quite okay.
Have you seen how the top 6 are condensing?
Yeah, it's like a like a train now. And
seems like Matthew Williams, actually. I said a lap ago that it seems like the Chris has gapped him. Matthew Williams closed the gap on Matthew Beavis by 1.2 seconds in that last lap, and Williams is in 6th, and the gap is only 2.8. So I really think at this point it's any of the top 6 that could possibly win it.
Yeah.
It's just the one that finds their way to the front at the right moment.
Yeah,
Because Shepard is reined in on David Yunt, which has almost alleviated the pressure on Leonov, and Leonov has gone after Matthew Beavis and closed that gap back down again.
I must say it's also about track position, and that's what Matthew Beavis still has. So just think if he can do it.
Woodford and Andrew Miso and Craig Patterson, they go all together through the third to last corner. Woodford down to 8th, Andrew Misoa up to 7th.
I must say, like, Cliff Vanderveen impressed me, but Craig Patterson impressed me today as well. He showed really good pace, but also smart driving. So yeah, driving on the limit, not
Williams
over
on
the
Butcher, P5. Oh, small nudge. Williams went for it. Butcher left him just enough rope to get away with it. But Butcher stays in P5. Look at this. They're all right under the rear wing of Matthew Beavis now. Is king around this place, but with that really long straight and with DRS in play, it's going to be all about how Matthew Beavis can get the exits of the critical corners.
Yeah, that top 6 is so close. Oh, you just feel there's something still happening there. And look at those cars. The top 6 is doing great. And let's just now look at everybody who's now currently retired. It's David Krupa retired, Matthias Sabinski retired, Tom Davidson retired, Ruben van den Hudding retired, and Wesley Stefano retired, Cameron Roger retired, Andrei Bartovsky retired, Mikael de los Rios retired, Ben Willis retired, Dan Kell retired, and last runner is Marcin Ramashuk in P20. So we've still got 20 runners, quite a lot of people already retired.
It's a very disappointing double DNF for Apex. Yeah. 2 in race 1, 2 in race 2. So here they come onto the start straight. Leonov looks close enough. Beavis defending. Yunt's also going to the pit wall against Shepard. Leonov ran the outside. Shepard ran the outside. And Williams ran the outside. All three of them going for it. Leonov's got it. By the looks of it, Shepard gets forced out wide. Butcher's cleared. Matthew Williams. Beavis retains the lead. Yunt to the inside. Yunt looking at Leonov, who's looking at Beavis. Side by side through 3. Beavis is holding. Leonov's getting strung out. Here comes Yunt. Shepard going 3 wide in the middle. That's crazy. Shepard's cleared Leonov. He's got a car between him and Butcher, which is key.
Oh, look at Butcher. Butcher
for it. Butcher's cleared Leonov. Can Matthew Williams follow through? No, he can't. Leonov's gone back at Butcher.
Oh, he makes it stick. And look at Butcher.
Oh, Butcher wildly fishtailing out of it. Williams as well. Thomas Andrew Michel must be licking his lips behind. He's gaining on them.
David Jones and Beavis. Now it's starting to pop off. What finish we will have? Beavis is.
Typical David Yunt race if he won this though, is he's going for the inside. I don't know if he's attacking or defending.
Yeah, but what do you want? You want to, of course, you want to win, but you also don't want to let Chris pass. Chris is going for it.
Bit of a nudge. They're hooked. Shepard on the curb. Yunt's got him hooked. Yunt's around the outside. He's staying ahead, but Shepard's going to get the run. Both of them are going to get DRS. As in the background, Chris Butcher's repassed Ivan Leonov. Oh, Shepard's cleared Yunt already. That was a massive exit from Shepard. Did Yunt make a mistake? It looks so much better, but Yunt's missed his braking point.
Wow.
On Butcher's cleared Yunt. Here come the Cinnabites. They're side by side.
Beavis is still leading, but Shepard now in P2. What a couple of moves from Chris Shepard. He really wants the championship. Look at
and Leonov almost clipping Choda, Campfield, and Van der Vin when trying to recover that car. Beavis has got the pressure on. It's the guy who led most of race 1 versus the guy who led most of race 2. And Beavis going heavy on the defense into the chicane. This is going to back everybody up. I think that might be Beavis's best shot now, is to almost back everybody up. Kind of a la a bell train. Because if Butcher's attacking Shepard, that's going to take Shepard's focus off of Beavis.
I don't have a favorite for the win, but if Matthew Beavis could do it, it would be amazing. But yeah, he's on great pressure, of course. And Chris is trying. Oh!
to the back of Shepherd. Butcher's lost it. He gets clipped by Williams. Williams is gone. And you're Misoa involved. Patterson's going to get a couple of places.
Williams. Oh, he's so unlucky, Williams. Yeah, this is a... Yeah.
It's a small nudge up the road.
And look at Shepherd.
Here we go. Here comes Shepherd. Here comes Yunt.
Yeah,
Shepherd's on the outside of Beavis. Shepherd's going to clear Beavis, but can Beavis pull it back on the inside?
Come on. No, it is.
And Shepherd's clear.
Oh, this is huge. I believe in race 1, Shepherd gained 7 points on Chris Butcher. I believe it was 20 points for second position.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was working it out as if Shepherd won. This is going to be a 12-point gain at the moment, so that's going to be 19 points. We're down to 11 points at this rate.
Interesting.
Ian's still not giving up the attack for P2. But Craig Patterson and Thomas Andriemi Harisoa, they're definitely back in the frame for a podium now at this rate. Same with Ross Woodford, Sandeep Choda, Harry Graham. They're all in it, back to 12th.
Look at that, yeah. And unfortunately, the two Cenobites really had a bit of bad luck.
Leonov dropped it on his own, but Williams definitely, he was caught out by somebody else's mistake. It was Chris Butcher into the back of Shepherd, and then Butcher saving his own car that caught Williams. And there's Campfield, P10, almost dropping it. Here comes Cliff van der Vin, chucking one up the inside. Good move from Cliff. Oh, he's overshot. Campfield's probably going to get that back, but Matthew Williams has cleared Campfield. This is crazy.
Wow, this is crazy. We need to have multiple camera angles. Chris Shepherd has...
Chris Shepherd's run away. He's not interesting anymore. This is all about the battle for second.
Yeah,
David Yunt's going for it.
Yunt's on the inside for Beavis. He will get P2 unless he misbreaks himself. No, P2 now for
Yunt's clear.
But
will Yunt try and help Chris Butcher get through? There's Cliff van der Vin and Matthew Williams still side by side. Browning's got through ahead of Campfield. All changing the back end of this pack. Shepherd 1.8 clear already. That's just one lap of being clear of this crazy battle.
Yeah, and I think this one he would like as one of his best victories because he really needed to fight for it, but he really shows his skill. He showed his skill today in race 2 Shepherd, and yeah, it looks like he's going to win it. And yeah, David Yunt, what a game changer for him after a difficult qualifying. He thought I think this race weekend would be rubbish, but he can still get a podium for it, and I think he will be pretty happy with it if he can do so. He was now still in P3.
Oh, here we go. Butcher's looking left, looking right. Beavis with a solid defense, but Butcher can't afford to do anything crazy because look at this pack of cars behind him. If he makes one mistake, he's down to 12th. As Chris Shepherd's going to come around the final corner. And good exit from Shepherd. He's going to take the win. David Yunt closed him down a bit at the end to come second. And here we go. P3. Butcher's in P3 ahead of Beavis. Patterson 5th. Andrew Misoa 6th. Then Woodford, Choda, Graham, Williams, Van der Ven, Browning, Campfield, Leonov as close as that. And Rono Murr rounds out the points. The points finisher is separated by 12 seconds only. That was nuts.
I think I heard Chris Butcher screaming when he got over the finish line. So he was in P3. What a finish! What a finish! Let's give you all the top 50 finishes now. It's Rono Murr in P15, Ivalenov in P14 after a bit of bad luck. With Adrian Campfield in P13, Luke Brown in P12, Cliff van der Ven P11, decent points at debut. Matthew Williams in P10. Should have deserved more, but yeah, was taken out. P9 for Harry Graham, a good recovery from Harry Graham. That needs to be said. Sandeep Choda in P8, decent points for him. Rod Woodford in P7. Thomas Adrian Harisoa P6, decent position. Craig Patterson, not a single mistake from him. Great races from him. P5. Matthew Beavis in P4. Yeah, he was the lead for long, but yeah, he couldn't take it unfortunately. But yeah, the other three are just so good. So yeah, nothing to be ashamed. And yeah, you were one of the best drivers, Matthew here. So yeah, Chris.
And it was only 300ths as well. 3/100ths of a second separating Matthew Beavis from that podium position at the end.
This could be very important that Butcher got P3 in the championship. Could be, yeah, deciding in the end with David Judd now in P2. But the winner is Chris Shepard, and he got a lot of points out this round. So very good to see that. And yeah,
9
that was
points,
race 2.
9 points closed in the championship gap.
Yeah.
So that's this race has definitely made the championship a lot closer coming into the run to the finish. But we have James Early, Daniele Brambilla, Michael Galka, and Martin Rybazuk also finishing the race outside of the points. Rybazuk having to pit on the last lap, and but made it made it home in the end. Pavel Andrzejewski, Dan Kell, Ben Willis, Miguel de los Rios, Andrei Boratovsky, Cameron Roger, Wesley Stefano, Ruben van den Hudding, Tom Davison, Matej Sabinski, and Dawid Krupa. I will say though, Menno, Harry Graham did a good job, but quite quietly getting up into that P9 after, as well as Andrea Misoa in hanging in there for P6.
Yeah, that just shows. I think Thomas Adriano will also be very happy with P6. That everybody is so skilled that it's on the details you can do it. Yeah.
Adrian Campfield maybe be a bit disappointed for only a 13th out of that race, but points for Stacks is helping their championship, even though they're quite distant from Red Arrow. The team's championship, I don't think is quite wrapped up yet, but it's definitely Red Arrow huge favorites at this point. 3, that's gonna be going their way very quickly. And David Yunt with another second place. That's a typical David Yunt event right there, isn't it? Just showing up, reasonable qualifying, getting a good reverse grid, and then sticking it on the podium in race 2.
Yeah, I used to race against David also last year in FC, and he was a master in getting, like, when you write him off, then he strikes. You should never write off David John. That's a thing I learned, because I thought like, I'm going to beat David, but then he beated me. He's so good. When he needs to be, he's smart enough to do that. So yeah, we're going to get some people in for the interviews, and well, let's not look, we have. Let's get David Junt in first. Let me see. Where is that? Let him get in now.
Chat road.
Hello, David.
Hello, Menno. You just got me in something.
You're live on the broadcast now, and we're going to ask you a few questions. So looking back on this round, how did you see it? Because you had a pretty poor qualifying, and we would write you off. But in race 2 you did of course you had a good starting position, but you did a good race, and it looks like the old David Junt again. How did you see it both races and quali?
The old David Junt? Who's the new David Junt? And what did I do in the meantime? Well, I think most of the thing that was going well was consistency, and I kept doing the lap times, but like starting with like 28 and such. I didn't feel really at home. I think Hungary is not that bad, but it requires good driving, smooth driving, because especially the left-right-handers in a second sector, they are technical, and if you get one wrong, then you're gonna suffer for all of them. And at least I managed to be consistent and make it count. Not in qualifying, I didn't have it. I just couldn't get it to get the car didn't feel right in quali, not the grip I wanted. So, and with the race consistency, I just managed to hold on, even though I was sweating buckets, really, so hot. And nervous so much, because Ross was driving very well too. I mean, nothing dangerous. Of course, he was driving very good, and I was just hounded all the way there. So only at the end I managed to get away from him and then gain a few positions for top 10. And in the second race, I noticed that the tire wear was a bit higher. I maybe I've pushed a bit more, even though I was kind of still trying my utmost to keep the left front alive as much as possible and steer safely. Kept it alive, kept my position for a long time. Then got past Leonov when he got too close to Beavis. And it just didn't come together to really attack Beavis in time to get him. I mean, at turn 1, when Chris attacked me, I tried to defend the inside. I'm not sure if I slipped outside a bit too much, but suddenly my car was not steering like to the right, and suddenly it was like, I don't know, the car got pulled to the left because we like contacted on my left rear tire and his right front, and it kept pulling me to the exit of the turn to his car, and I was like, get off the car. And I didn't actually want to move into him. I had a really tough time to getting away from his car. It was like we were glued together. I noticed that he had a great pace. He had better top speed than me with DRS following people. So I think it was maybe a bit inevitable that he would get me, even though I thought like the way we break late into the second last hairpin, I don't think that was really a good idea to try to push it down my inside. But well, at least we didn't die, but it also killed my run on Beavis. So guess it was good for Chris to pass me, but well, yeah, second in the end when I got past Beavis. So yeah, I should be happy with this.
Yeah, and I think you did well, of course, and you're still battling hard for that third position in the championship. And yeah, Matthew Williams is, of course, getting faster and faster and closer on your tail. But yeah, you still got points out of him in race 2, so it will be very close. Well,
to feel his breath, yeah. I'm feeling him. That's why I'm so nervous, because I know he's got so big pace.
But yeah, you have good pace as well. So thanks, David, for being here, and hopefully we see you back on the podium or even with a race win pretty soon.
No problem. See you.
Yeah. Let's now get the next one in. That will be Luke Browning. And Michael, you can do that interview.
Yep. Hello, Luke.
Hello.
Very interesting races for you today. Race 1, up at the front, battling hard. Race 2, you were right in the mix.
You can say that again. That's probably the most unlucky race I've ever been in. Yeah, race 1 was good. Yeah, I stuck it in third. I was like, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll settle with that. So I was just I knew I had the pace to stick with him, so I just kind of stuck on the back end and was just waiting for either mistakes and then I'd capitalise on that. But instead, I just sat behind them and fair dues to them both. Yeah, I'm happy with third with that one.
Very good stuff. And race 2 is, race 2 was just mental from a spectator's perspective. How was it for a driver being, in that, what was it, 2nd to 14th in the end? It was just a massive train of cars.
Oh man, it was the bell train in front of me. I was just gaining each lap, and then I was just eventually ticking off cars. But man, people defending so hard for like 13th, 14th place. It's just like, come on, let's get going, let's get ahead of these guys. But I think maybe 3 or 4 incidents in that, and I still managed to get in the points. So yeah, I'm happy with that one.
Good stuff. And obviously, I mentioned in the broadcast that you and the Downforce Racing guys, Harry Graham and Tom Davison and Wesley Stefano, you guys are almost working as working together. But
yeah.
A less good race 1 certainly for the other 3, and Harry getting up in the points. Does that help or hurt when there's drivers working together and most of them are having a bad race?
Oh man, it's never nice to see your teammates not having a good race, but sometimes you've got to be a bit selfish on what you're doing and just keep focused on what you're doing and make sure it doesn't ruin your own race.
Well, thanks for that, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.
Grab somebody else now for an interview.
Yeah, let's see. Let's get Chris Butcher in. Then we leave the winner of race 2 as last. And hello, Chris Butcher.
Hello.
Hello. So, another round completed. Still the championship lead. But I think you're not entirely happy because, yeah, Mr. Shepard, your nearest rival, got some points out of you. How did you see today's races? Been lucky or not? Tell us about it.
Pretty average, really. I knew I was going to struggle coming into it because I've been struggling with tyre wear on my long runs, and that kind of showed itself in race 1. I just didn't really have an answer for them. Race 2 went a bit better. It sort of went through the field quite well. But yeah, I got caught out when Beavis ran out of tyres and they were all braking a little bit early, and I caught the back of Shepard, and that was kind of that run over really.
But overall, yeah, you're still happy because yeah, we saw your move for P3 on the line. That was quite intense, right?
Yeah, I just thought, I'm going to go for it. I'm better on the brakes, and there was a small gap there, and I managed to make it sort of down the inside. There were a little bit of contact, but I don't think it was out of line really, and yeah, it was pretty decent to get a podium out of it. I knew I was going to struggle. I've lost some points, but not massively. So we'll pick ourselves up for the next race, and I'm sure I'll be all right.
Yeah, and the next race will be Spa-Francorchamps. Is that one of your favorites?
Yeah, I love that track. I took my first win for Red Arrow there last season, so hoping we can get some glory again.
Yeah, well, yeah, you might, but yeah, I think you would agree the championship is getting much intenser now. Even the guys that are coming in from the Academy series are so decent that yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's some really quick guys. I mean, there is a slight frustration that we've got there's an investigation for a penalty kind of overhanging at the minute. Not for me, but it's a bit annoying that it's not been sorted out yet. I just want to have a clean fight to the end of the season for the title and not have any uncertainty there. So it'd be good to get that sorted out, and yeah, we'll see what happens towards the end of the season.
Yeah, well, we wish you the best of luck, and yeah, we hope to see you in here next round, of course, and let's see how close the battle of the championship is then.
Yeah,
we wish you the very best of luck. And yeah, now we will have the last one, and the last one we will have today is the winner of race 2, and the one that closed, the championship fight. Yeah. Back, and it's really close. It's Chris Shepard, and Michael, you can do the interview.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Mike.
Good event for you today then, points wise.
Wasn't bad, was it? I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Was it P2 and then a P1 that's brought you closer to the championship lead?
Yes, exactly what was needed, to be fair, and I had a decent race 2 for once. Can you believe it?
Looked pretty insane there. When I think it was 3 or 4 laps from home, you're sat in what P4. You've got David Yen ahead of you and Chris. Race 2, you got David Yen ahead of you and Chris Butcher behind you. Are you thinking at all, okay, I just need to get people between me and Chris Butcher, or are you thinking just to go for the win?
I don't think you need me to answer that, Mike, but I will anyway. Of course, I was thinking I've got to go for the win. It's all or nothing. I've got nothing to lose. I'm 30 odd points behind, so if and it nearly happened, if I get taken out, then so be it. But I'll go down fighting, that's for sure.
Cool. So, do you think? Would you say that you were the championship favourite now after this round? Because you definitely seem to have the momentum.
Well, that's obviously not for any of us drivers to decide. It's for the public to decide, isn't it? So who knows? If people say I'm the favourite, great. If not, then oh well. I can only do what I can do, Mike. At the end of the day, I can only do perform to my best. So that's it, basically.
Got Spa coming up next. Would you say that's a good track for you, or would you say you may struggle there?
Nah, everyone likes Spa, don't they? Even you like Spa, don't you, Mike?
Even I like Spa, yeah.
Yeah, so see, everyone's Spa's a good track, man. There should be some great racing. Hopefully, more racing with me and Butchie. Yeah, let's hope so. Fingers crossed for a good result there as well. But yeah, I just want to say, race 2, I gambled. In practice, I was using quite a low downforce setup, but I decided to raise the downforce a little bit because I could go a couple of attempts quicker with a bit more downforce. So I went that way for race qualifying and race 1, which got me, well, I think it got me a half decent position on the grid anyway, P3. But for race 2, because I saw the 15 number of the grid reverse, I decided to just go back to my low downforce setup, thinking ahead, obviously being behind slightly slower drivers that I wouldn't be able to utilize the downforce in the quick section. So the plan was to just stick with them through the slow section and then just keep on their behind, let's say, for the straight and blitz past them. And to be fair, it worked a treat. So I'm really happy with that decision. That is basically how I got the win.
That did seem to suit you really well. One point about your race 1, that start, that was absolutely mega.
Yeah, I know. It was good. Probably my best start of the season, to be fair. Well, it's hard to know because I feel like I get the same starts all the time, but I don't know. I need to look at what Matt and Luke did. I don't know whether they just got relatively poor starts. I noticed that Matt went on the defensive to Luke, so maybe Luke got slowed down a little bit because of that. And yeah, I just sent it around the outside, pretty much like race 2 as well. Race 2 was pretty decent as well. I think I gained 4 or 5 positions after turn 1.
Always good to gain places quickly, but yeah, I think that start in race 1, that was very impressive. Yeah, and with the sort of run out of the turn 1 at Spa, if you can pull that off again in 2 weeks, that could land you in pretty good stead.
Well, yeah, I'm hoping to start. I'm always want to start higher than third, so let's hope I can start on the front row at least at Spa. Can't always rely on a good start. So yeah, good stuff.
Well, best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Don't believe there's any more interviews, so Formula Challenge will be back in 2 weeks for round 12 at Spa. The Super Cup and Super League will be on tomorrow and Thursday, and I believe there's an episode of The Scrutineer coming up later on tonight. So for everyone involved, for cameraman Argo Teeter, for Menno Klont, and myself, Mike Bell, see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.